Parkview family, Pastor Jeff here with our Good Friday devotional. Reading from Isaiah 52, verse 13. See, my servant will prosper, he will be highly exalted. But many were amazed when they saw him. His face was so disfigured, he seemed hardly human, and from his appearance one would scarcely know he was a man. And he will startle many nations. Kings will stand speechless in his presence, for they will see what they had not been told. They will understand what they had not heard about. Who has believed our message? To whom has the Lord revealed his powerful arm? My servant grew up in the Lord's presence like a tender green shoot, like a root in dry ground. There was nothing beautiful or majestic about his appearance, nothing to attract us to him. He was despised and rejected, a man of sorrows, acquainted with deepest grief. We turned our backs on him and looked the other way. He was despised, and we did not care. Yet it was our weaknesses he carried. It was our sorrows that weighed him down. And we thought his troubles were a punishment from God, a punishment for his own sins. But he was pierced for our rebellion and crushed for our sins. He was beaten so we could be whole. He was whipped so we could be healed. All of us, like sheep, have strayed away. We have left God's paths to follow our own, yet the Lord laid on him the sins of us all. He was oppressed and treated harshly, yet he never said a word. He was led like a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep is silent before the shears, he did not open his mouth. Unjustly condemned, he was led away. No one cared that he died without descendants, that his life was cut short in midstream, but he was struck down for the rebellion of my people. He had done no wrong and had never deceived anyone, but he was buried like a criminal. He was put in a rich man's grave. But it was the Lord's good plan to crush him and cause him grief. Yet when his life is made an offering for sin, he will have many descendants. He will enjoy a long life, and the Lord's good plan will prosper in his hands. When he sees all that is accomplished by his anguish, he will be satisfied. And because of his experience, my righteous servant will make it possible for many to be counted righteous, for he will bear all their sins. I will give him the honors of a victorious soldier because he exposed himself to death. He was counted among the rebels. He bore the sins of many and interceded for rebels. May God bless the reading of his word. This morning I want to talk about how do you explain to someone in exile, someone weighed down by suffering, that their pain could serve a greater purpose. For many in ancient Israel, the hope was clear. A conquering king like David who would rise in strength and crush their enemies. Power meant victory. Even today, we're drawn to leaders who project confidence, dominance, and success. Whether in politics, sports, or culture, we want strength that reassures us, not weakness that unsettles us. So when Isaiah speaks of a suffering servant, it feels backwards. Who would trust a leader marked by pain? Who would trust someone who appeared defeated? Like those in exile, we instinctively resist the idea that restoration could come through suffering. If we're honest, many of us would rather remain comfortable in bondage than endure pain for the sake of true freedom. Yet into that expectation steps one man, a servant, not with force, but with willingness, not demanding justice, but absorbing it. Isaiah writes, he was pierced for our transgressions. He was crushed for our iniquities. The suffering described is not his own doing, it's ours. The weight of the punishment, the cost of sin, all of it falls on him. Jesus, the true servant, does not resist. He steps in. He takes what belongs to us in quiet strength. He lifts the burden from our backs and carries it himself. Every lash, every wound, every nail, he endures it willingly. No applause, no recognition, only the appearance of loss. But what looks like defeat is in truth victory. Where we see humiliation and degradation, God sees victory and salvation. When we quietly sit thinking we witness defeat, all heaven and earth begin groaning loudly, shaking the ground and tearing the holy veil that separates us from God, signaling the final victory. And in the most epic upside-down victory ever, our victorious servant declares his victory with the cry, "It is finished." May God bless you as you go through this Good Friday and prepare your hearts for Easter morning. Thank you.